started. Maybe we'll have some other people coming in a little later. I know the cold has kind of scared some people away. Our host, Ryan Burmester, will be here a little bit late. He got caught up at a meeting, so he will be here, but I'll be starting us off tonight. So I just wanted to welcome you to our first monthly open mic of 2025. They are going to be monthly now, so on the second Thursday of each month. And hopefully as weather gets warmer, it'll get more and more popular. We are recording tonight's open mic, so you can share with your friends and family on the interweb if they could not be here in person tonight. But with all of that, we'll go ahead and get started. Josie, can you grab me the sign-up sheet? Forgot to grab it. Thank you. All right, so first up, just getting your phone set up. All right, perfect. We have Lizzie, and she's reading a poem. Or three poems. Come on up.
Okay, can you hear me? I've read 2 of these poems already before, like in these open mics, but given the month, I thought I'd read them again. The first one is called A Little Taste. I'll lick the glue along the letter's seal, laced with harsh honey whiskey and sweet tobacco smoke. Let my taste linger. I'll write your name in drunken cursive and slur and smudge the ink with my fingers and my feelings. I'll place a kiss to the perfumed pages, pretend it's your lips I'm painting red. Will you taste my sweet words and get drunk on my affections? Breathe in my perfume and return the kiss from miles away. That's the first one. Also read this one already, but I'm reading it again. I remember, it's called My First Love as a Girl. I remember, knee-deep in crunchy grass, prickly with thorns. I think we were playing house. I remember she had brown hair, and maybe glasses and maybe freckles, but that might just be the sapphic in me. I'll admit, I don't remember which name was hers, but at such a young age, still I was fond of her, and somehow drawn to her. Between the house that seemed big, and the barn that was even bigger, next to a row of pines, with another little girl like me, we were knee-deep in spiky grass, on the ranch my dad's uncle owns now. Picking flowers and playing house, she had brown hair, I'm certain. Glasses maybe, and an upturned nose. I don't remember her name or her voice, the color of her eyes. I remember she was crying, dots of blood on her fingertips, dirt and dust on her knees, tears and a determined half-scowl, cans full of flowers. The little thorns in the grass did not deter her from gathering more and more flowers for our game, playing house, or maybe we were making a potion, or some paint, or a different sort of soup. I wish I could remember who we were pretending to be, or the magic of the potion, the color of the paint, and the taste of the soup, because maybe then I could remember her. Learn how to use a paper real quick. This one is brand new. Okay. It's called Sweet and Sweet and Sweet and Sweet. Another dawn dawns on me, and her blue eyes blink, an hour and a half away. Morning spring, good morning messages, bleary eyes smiling. I'm thinking of her too. Such lovely days I live in, where she exists and thinks of me. Soft lips and nervous hands, it's so sweet and sweet and sweet and sweet. Dairy-free cupcakes, faux and Dr. Pepper, peanut butter and jelly, and a million lollipops. She's so sweet and sweet and sweet and sweet. She's the embodiment of perfect pink. A sunrise in the best of candy, whose smile I'll keep falling for.
We had a step stool, but it actually caused more problems.
Oh, yeah. Kind of remember that.
Yeah, the step stool tended to fall over. Thank you very much. Those were excellent. I never mind hearing poems again. I think you get out of it every time you hear it, so.
Would you like me to
He
gasping?
gets nervous, you get nervous, it's alright, it's alright. It's hard being on the stage. Get it? Alright, well thank you very much for reading, we appreciate it. Next up, we have Luann, and she's going to be reading Gran Kissed the Blarney Stone. Come on in.
Well, after tomorrow, we've got another holiday coming up, and so I thought it would be a good time to read my children's picture book, Gran Kiss the Blarney Stone, and plug something that's coming up here soon. So I wrote this after having gone to Ireland, kissed the Blarney Stone, and then as part of a writer's group, we needed to bring something every month that we were working on. And so I just started tinkering around with language. And it ended up being a children's picture book. Before Gran kissed the Blarney Stone, she was a normal Gran, a regular calm Gran, a pretty playful Gran, but she was never a crazy Gran. Now though, Gramps scratches his forehead and Daddy screws up his lips, but Gran just winks and waves. Before Gran kissed the Blarney Stone, she was a friendly Gran, a regular talkative Gran, maybe a somewhat chatty Gran, but she was never a downright gabby Gran. Now Gramps can't get a word in edgewise, and Mama rolls her eyes. It's the gift of gab the stone gave me, and now I always have a story to tell. And taking a great, deep breath, she tells us a silly story about the Blarney Otters. In Blarney Lake lives a treasure-hunting, jam sandwich-eating otter family. One day I took a row on the lake, and you are not going to believe what happened. A family of otters started swimming and sniffing around. So I piled a paddle full of sandwiches to share. Out of their pouches, one otter, then the next, began giving me coins too heavy for my small boat. So Gran kissed the Blarney Stone, and things really changed. It all began when Gran went on a trip to an actual green island called Ireland. In Ireland, they have four-leaf clovers, old stone castles, harps, and fairies, even mischievous leprechauns, naughtier than my brother. And on that green, really green island, Ireland, they have a Blarney Stone. Yarely. Let me tell you about the Blarney. Beyond the city of Cork, shallow here. Beyond the city of Cork is a magical medieval castle with a charming bog garden perfect for the fairies. And on top of Blarney Castle is a great stone. If you kiss that stone, boyo, it will change your life. Before Gran kissed the Blarney Stone, she was an ordinary Gran. In her garden behind the shed, she grew squash and spinach, onions and oregano, parsley and peas. She mowed the lawn, trimmed the hedges, and carried water to her potted plants scattered about her yard. When I came to visit, Gran made me waffles, painted my nails, and taught me how to sing along with Lady and the Tramp. I was her girlie, my brother her scamp. Gran read me stories like Where the Wild Things Are and Green Eggs in Hand. We played Go Fish, Slapjack, and Candyland. But Gran kissed the Blarney Stone, and things really, really changed. Gran still takes water to the flowers, but now she twists and twirls, skips and swirls from pot to pot, and all the while she sings in a town named Bunratty, where wild daffodils grow, and the old castle's lawn the gardeners don't mow. Lived an old gal named Nellie, she tended the gate, and cooked up a potion for which her guests paid. The water slide sloshes out of the tin until Gran is soaked through. But she doesn't seem to mind. Gramps waggles his head, though, and Daddy and Mama whisper behind their hands. My brother and I just giggle. After Gran kissed the Blarney Stone, she asked if we wanted to help her harvest the peas. We skipped and swirled to the garden behind the shed. You know, Garrily, when I was on the green island of Ireland, I tasted the mushy peas. Mushy peas, I exclaimed. Why would someone mush her peas? She smacked her mouth. Oh, they are, she said, so delicious with the fish and chips. Boyo, Gran whispered mischievously, are you ready to learn how to make the mushy peas? And she whirled and twirled about the kitchen, mixing and mashing, splashing and spraying mashed peas everywhere. Gramps covered his face and shook his head sternly. While Scamp sloshed the peas, Gran fried and fried and fried and sang. Fish and chips and mushy peas, cooked with love and sure to please. Fish and chips and mushed up peas, a favorite meal of Irish kings. Soon we had a massive mess of chips and a pile, no, a stack, a tower of trout. Gran served our lunch on shamrock-shaped plates. Did you know, Boyo, on the green island of Ireland, the shamrock keeps evil away. That's why there are no snakes in Ireland. Then Gran took a great, no, a gigantic bite. Smacking her lips, she explained, tastes just like on the green, green island of Ireland. As for the mushy peas, well, Scamp and I enjoyed the fish and chips, and Gramps cocked an eyebrow. Listen, Gran squealed suddenly. Do you hear it? It's the tapping of the leprechauns calling me to dance. And she jumped up and began tapping and stomping, kicking and jumping. Gran, that's just that pesky woodpecker, Scamp said, giggling, and Gramps slapped the palm of his hand to his forehead. While on the green island of Ireland, Gran said she blew into a right cheerful pub with grand entertainment. Gran never used to talk like that. Blew in, right cheerful or grand. But she explained, I was a blow-in, a visitor on the green island of Ireland. There in Ireland, at that right cheerful pub, she played a burra. It was delightful. And it must have been, because she brought two home, one for her and one for my brother, the Scamp. Now, when we blow into Gran's, she and Scamp drum along to Irish tunes. Sometimes it wakes us up in the morning. Or, as Gran now says, the morn, with a slight rolling of the R. One day in March, Gran was up early, cutting and pasting, stringing and singing. What's all this for? Scamp asked. Why, it's St. Patrick's Day, Boyo, a day of feasting and dancing, shenanigans and malarkey. Verily, you help me decorate, and Boyo, you run and invite the neighbors. Scamp grabbed his burra and dashed out the door. That night, Gran and Gramps' yard was filled with neighbors, laughing and eating even the mushy peas. And when that pesky woodpecker started pecking, everyone started dancing, tapping and stomping, kicking and jumping. Even Gramps' daddy and mama. After Gran kissed the Blarney Stone, things really changed, but it's not so bad. Gran and I used to primp and play, sing and read. Now we dance delightfully, sing enthusiastically, and cook cheerfully. And Gran and Scamp drum dramatically. As for Gramps, well, he started to whistle along. Daddy and Mama whisper about a family trip to the really green island of Ireland and the Blarney Stone. And now, after our trip to the medieval Blarney Castle and its magical stone, we always have a new story to tell. And that's the finest thing about our trip to the green, green island of Ireland and kissing the Blarney Stone. tell you that tomorrow, this is a picture of the front and back cover. I am putting out, I will order the author's proof tomorrow and get that all okayed, and then in a week or so, hopefully, my Grand Kiss the Blarney Stone activity book for kids, coloring puzzles, word searches, and more will be available on Amazon, and I'll also have some here at the shop. It's for children ages probably 4 to 8. We've got all kinds of different puzzles and coloring and activities, projects, and then at the very back we have things that you can that show the grandma or a mom or a dad or a babysitter how to throw the perfect Irish tea. So I will give you a flyer if you want to look at it. If not, I'll just leave them with Alicia. So Alicia has these already, and I'll get those others to you.
Thank you so much, Luann. Yeah, we do have Grand Kiss the Blarney Stone available in store, and we will have those copies of the activity book as soon as they come in. I'm very excited about it. We're gonna try and do maybe a little event around it if I can manage to get that organized and put together. But yeah, very excited to have these out, especially for St. Patrick's Day coming up. As you know, it's almost that time. It's crazy how fast this year is going. I'm going to hand over the hosting duties to Ryan Burmester, our lovely MC for the evening. And I will be back up here to read some love poems because it's almost Valentine's Day, but I'll be at the end, so stay tuned.
Hello. Can you tell everyone else that they're pretty short? It's better. I wish I had a better excuse for why I was late, but the real thing is, I got down a rabbit hole before coming out here, because I couldn't figure out, your phone, it vibrates, right? What makes it vibrate? So I went down this whole engineering thing. And like your washing machine, if you get too much weight on one side, it starts tipping and making a lot of noise. Basically, that's what your phone does. It's like a tiny version of it, more weight on one side than the other, and it makes your phone vibrate. Which is handy because I don't know if you guys do this. I've never once heard my phone. The first thing I do when I do my phone, I put it on vibrate because I don't want to hear it, and if I put a case on it because I'm clumsy. I have more knowledge. The Blarney Stone thing. I lived over in England for a while. I don't understand the mission piece. I really don't. It's not texturally good. And I don't understand. I think it was clearly a post-war thing, the mission piece, because it was just cheaper, but it doesn't cost money to remove the mishiness. Just have it be peas. Same with the beans on toast. Didn't understand that either. Blood sausage too. Didn't get that. Basically, the only British food that was any good was the fish and chips. And what I learned, if you ever go to England, find the restaurants, because they used to wrap the fish in newspaper, like actual newspaper. They stopped doing that because they found it's bad for your health to consume ink, turns out. But there's still a few shops, if you know where to look, that still wrap it in the day's newspaper. And it tastes better, probably not because of the actual ink itself, but because they're still preparing it the old way rather than whatever newer cost-cutting ways to make the fish. Let's see. Was that all the things I wanted to say? Oh, okay. I have a show Saturday in Sterling. If you have no Valentine's Day after Valentine's Day plans. Also, if you have no Valentine's Day plans, spend your money and go to the show instead. It'll be at the Hotspot Grill. I'm bringing a few comics in. It's called Questionable Advice. It's like a comedy advice show. People submit their questions there live, and then we give questionable advice back. There's a QR code on the cash register, and it the flyer comes up sometimes on that TV. Tickets are $20, I believe, and there's not many left. So if you wanna get those, that'd be good. I think it's a prime rib special too, that they're selling. Does anyone have any fun Valentine's Day plans? You do?
Yes.
What are you doing?
We're doing Valentine's Day. My house, my friend is making potato soup because all my other friends love it. And I'm going to give them gifts. And by that I mean probably just chocolate. And we're going to play sappy old love music and play board games and card games. And just kind of a low-key thing. We're all going to dress, we have to add some sort of hot color like red or pink to our outfit because it has to stick to the bit, you know. That's it.
That's fun. It felt silly to use a microphone. There's like 2.5 people here. So that's
I'm the hat.
that's fun. I never understood going out like to a proper dinner on Valentine's Day. Okay, here's the thing. I worked in restaurants forever, like 15 years restaurant experience. Valentine's Day is either stuff that they got cheap that they could then raise the price on, or stuff they need to get rid of. Except for the grill on Saturday where the prime rib special is fresh and good. But that's really what it is, and it's 3-4 times more expensive, limited menu, because they want to pay less staff in the back. They need less cooks for the limited menu. That way they can put more people up front, so they can serve more people. So the tip is to either don't go out on Valentine's Day, do it the week before or the week after, or the day after in Sterling at the grill. Let's see. Do we have any other announcements? Are the new peanut butter cookies good?
Yeah, they're great.
Have you actually tried them?
The same recipe we always use, so,
So it's-
yeah.
They're gluten free,
Yep, naturally gluten-free.
and they're in the little allergy cage.
They're in the Dome of Temptation. Yes,
What if we just made everything allergy and put it in there? It's just my curiosity. So let's say, because obviously you can't have the peanut butter cookies and the other cookies
Right.
because of the allergens.
right.
If that entire case was all allergens,
Uh-huh.
people ate all of them. Can we then restock it with normal cookies, or is there a cleaning procedure that has
It'd
that?
have to be cleaned, yeah.
What if we didn't?
Then we'd kill people, and I don't wanna do that.
That would be
That'd be bad for
Yeah,
the customer.
yeah, it'd be bad for the customer base.
Well, that's the other thing I was gonna say. So I went over to, I guess, Northern Ireland, not quite the same thing, but I was in Belfast, which I didn't realize that's where the Titanic was built and where it came out of. I guess it's probably a normal fact if you know anything about the Titanic. But if you go to Belfast, they kept I don't know what you call it, they tied the boat off with a rope and then they released the rope. They kept the one that Titanic went out on. The dock has been expanded, so it's like 100 yards yet of dock, but it's still there. But you can go in the museum and they have, it's kind of like a roller coaster. You sit on it and they take you from blueprint to finish the entire making of the Titanic. And the thing I never thought about, there was something like 3 million rivets or something, but they didn't have electric tools, power tools at the time. They all had to be hand hammered. They had a little station you can go to where and I was done after half a rivet. I'm not, I work with computers all day. I'm not the manual labor. Someone chewed on this pen. Was it Frankie?
I was gonna say blame Frankie. Yeah.
Anyway, the accent there is whatever the speech version of illegible is. I could not understand a thing anyone said. I went into this place for fish and chips, and there was a guy back there making the food and a guy out front, and they were having a big argument. I could not tell what they were talking about. I knew it was sports related. I knew it was soccer related, football related. And the one guy turns to me and goes, "What do you think?" I'm like, it's good. I think it was good. Can I please get my fish and chips? I didn't want to start an international incident. I think I killed it. Right? Cool. All right, let's see the next one. Brenda,
All right.
we got your poetry. assume you're not
Much shorter.
a 6-foot man. So can we give a round of applause for Brenda? Oh, we forgot to put a little step down.
And people tip over on it.
Yeah. That's a long ways up.
Yes.
Okay, hello, I'm Brenda. Okay, well, I will read some poems. Read some from my book, On the Train or Somewhere Else, available here in various places. Let's see, I'll read this one. This is another grandma story, so. The Man in Chicago. My grandmother told my sisters and cousins too, as a reason to be quiet, there's a man in Chicago with a headache. For years I saw him in a dark Italian cafe, head in his hands, elbows on a small square table with a red check tablecloth and a candle and a bottle, wax dripping down. Poor man, suffering with the noise of all those unruly children miles away in Colorado. Okay. I will read this one. A time such as this, still relevant 2 years later. Okay. The wind whispers through locked doors. We are dust collecting, coloring outside lines, drawing circles around language that is seen but is not believed. We speak of earthly things. We speak the words of God. We are losing what we thought we knew, but we will collect the fragments, and nothing will be wasted. The sea has been stirred up. The sky has already grown dark, but we belong to these days. We have been born for a time such as this. Peace be with you, and do not be afraid. Okay. All right, well, I had written some, love poems. I'm not good at those. They're usually not really sweet and mushy, but anyway, I didn't bring them, so I'll read this one out of the book. It's sort of a love poem, I guess. Blood orange poison and bitter memory. I am a healing raindrop dancing lightly over deeply buried graves of forgotten nights, full of uncomforted sobbing. I am not quite free. You are a silver salmon struggling against the current, against grizzly bears, against fishermen, fighting with all your strength, never expecting to survive. I am a lost refugee, eyes brimming with unspilled tears, scanning bleak deserts for an elusive mirage. I am an ocean of passionate fantasy. I am not quite drowning. You are my exclamation mark, shifting, skirting, sputtering to make my sentence stop. I am thunder cracking, not quite loud enough, lightning flashing, not quite bright enough to reach the winter moon. You are a falling star nobody notices, absorbing the disillusionment of all ungranted wishes. You are the Big Dipper dripping with rich red wine, infused with blood orange poison and bitter memory. I am emerging from a torn pocket, escaping coarse, cruel sandpaper, scraping and smoothing me smaller. You are relentlessly seeking the black iced highway where our shattered, mismatched hearts collide, screeching, screaming, gasoline leaking onto pavement, 20-foot flames licking the sky, thick, black, burnt muffins of smoke, acrid stench of toxic, misunderstood words. I am a red, glowing ember, warm, a quieting, settling fireplace fire. I am not quite extinguished. Oh, let's see if there's one in my coloring book. I thought I had February one. Oh gosh, my stuff I've been told is really dark. So So here's my Valentine haiku in my coloring book. Conversation parts. Erased by missile strikes. Love speaks in silence. Okay, and so I have a coloring book now, a series. My second one is already available on Amazon, and I'm waiting to get some author copies of it. So I'm very excited. The coloring books come together a lot more quickly than the than the poem books somehow. So, but I do have too many poems for my next poem book. It's just that's the challenge, narrowing it down. So I've already been 13 and a half months into this poem a day challenge. So I have 13 and a half months worth of a poem a day, plus some days I wrote 4 or 5. So that's a lot. Okay. All right. So I'll read some of the newer ones from this year. Waves Rising After What If, When We Held Each Other by James Tipton. What if flesh did not exist and there was only consciousness? What if we never had to guess if it might be day or night, dark or light? What if our mother was an ocean and we were birthed upon warm sand, never to forget? What if when we held each other there was no skin between us, only waves rising and falling, receding and returning? What if when we kissed, our fears and worries washed out to sea? What if nothing survived except this one moment swallowing us whole? Okay, and this one, sometimes I get really stuck and I'm only writing about politics, and so I was trying really hard to get out of that. And so this poem is called Instead of Writing About Politics. Instead of writing about politics, I will write about trees and about hills of cotton candy and about children laughing in a downpour with lightning and thunder. I will write about falcons frolicking in fields of violets and building nests at the crest of a crystal crown. I will write about rivers splashing over rocks, toy boats, red tennis shoes, and dragons spewing hot, bubbling lava like fierce volcanoes erupting, snuffing out all living things in their path. Never mind, I will try again. I will write about kittens with sweet pink noses and bunnies with twitchy whiskers. I will write about campfires surrounded by Girl Scouts with roasted marshmallows squishing between chocolate oozing between graham crackers and between the teeth of giggly gooey smiles as guitars strum and musical notes rise and float to the stars on the wings of a whisper. Okay, so this will be the last one that I wrote on New Year's Day. I wrote it here. Okay. New Year's Day in an empty bookstore. Surrounded by full bookshelves and empty sofas, I wait. My mind being not as sharp as it once was, I arrived an hour early for book club. I hear the siren of a fire truck and see its lights as it speeds north on Main Street. Someone is starting 2025 with an emergency. But I have had a slow, easy day. I can't quite accomplish doing nothing for an entire day. That takes practice. Still, I have already forgotten how it was all those years. Getting up before the sun, scraping ice off the windshield, spending all day working. Isn't it wondrous? A treasure to get up when I please, to embrace the day like a friend. I consider making resolutions, or maybe some predictions, some guesses about how the year might go. Maybe I should just leave plenty of space for surprises. For today, I pause and wonder, what if this year is not so bad? What if we survive? Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you.
I decided to do some field research. is not the print that makes the fish and chips taste better. It's a little snack. How can you write? I feel like every time you're here, you always have new stuff.
Yeah, I'm still writing a poem every day, at least one.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay.
Some days, 2, 3, 4.
And is there like a minimum you force yourself to? Like it has to be at least 4 paragraphs, right?
No way. My rules are, has to be one complete poem. It can be a haiku, so, as long as it's one complete poem. It doesn't have to be good. It may need a lot of revision, but as long as I have one complete poem. So sometimes that involves 3 minutes. And sometimes it involves most of the day.
Are there any forms that you don't like to write?
There are a lot of forms that I haven't tried yet.
I've tried.
And there are some that I find very challenging. I actually struggle with like writing a sonnet. Villanelle is difficult, but some of the most difficult forms that other people say are the most difficult, they really like the sestina, which is really, really hard, but I like it, so, yeah.
I'm gonna pretend like I remember my college English and all those. Limerick and haiku are about the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you all had the cookies here? I've had this debate internally, and I'm going to externalize it. Is the snickerdoodle better, or is the chocolate chip better?
Chocolate chip is really good. I don't know if I haven't had a snickerdoodle yet.
I haven't had a chocolate chip. I just want a snickerdoodle.
Okay.
Well, you should all go buy both.
Fair.
And compare
Have a
notes.
taste test.
Because my dad was of the last 3 Christmases. So my parents try to keep sweets out of the house, like as a rule. Because if it's there, they just get consumed. There's no control. What you have done is every Christmas you give my dad a dozen snickerdoodles, and they are gone by New Year's Eve.
That's generous.
And then
They're usually gone the next day.
and then my mom asked, she's like, "Oh, did you get your dad snickerdoodle this year?" I'm like, he didn't share. He didn't the snickerdoodle. They're good. Are we still doing the I'm contributing at all to the cookie making. The white chocolate cookies and cream,
Cookies and cream. Yeah, we still have the cookies and cream.
which I like because I can sneak down here and get all the other every so often. Not that you notice.
Well, they're gone now, so I've noticed.
And when are you gonna resupply?
Next, we're gonna do cinnamon roll cookies. That's the next special.
What's the difference between that and a snickerdoodle?
They're different. They're
It's
different.
just the
It's well, it's gonna be like a shortbread dough with a cinnamon swirl, and then it's gonna have the cream cheese frosting on the top. So should be good.
Oh, by the way, jam swirls.
Yeah.
Those are
Good.
fantastic.
Good. Yeah, the jam swirls were good. That was a collaboration with All About You. We got the jam from them. So if you liked the jam, it's over there. Yeah, always trying new things. If you ever have a recipe, you're like, that could be good. Bring it in. I'll try it.
No one ever told me that biscotti is supposed to be eat with coffee or tea. You're supposed to dip it in. I didn't understand why people like the really hard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's no coffee with it.
It's like
They're not designed to be eaten alone.
well, it's like the first time I had a tamale. I didn't know you were supposed to.
Unwrap it.
Oh, no.
Like, why do people like that? I'm fighting, destroying my teeth. Then I understood. The Pal's good. What board games are you?
Not Palsgiving.
Pal's game? Valentine's Day.
Yeah. A few people have offered to bring some games. I have Clue, the kind that's sold here, the vintage looking one. I spilled a normal drink on it one time. I know one of my friends likes to play chess. I might try to play chess with her, and she's going to win. We play sevens, but it's become kind of a bloodbath whenever that happens. Card. Or spoon. Sorry, spoon.
Spoon.
That becomes a bloodbath.
We always play that. I love it.
In my family and my friend group, it is a bloodthirsty
It's
affair.
dangerous.
I swear.
It's a very dangerous game.
My sister counts cards, the little devil. She's out of state for a while, thank goodness, but can't play spoons with her because she'll you can see her. And I don't pay attention, so by the time everyone's got a spoon, they're all looking at me. And I'm just having a jolly old time sitting there.
Yeah, my sister was like you. Everybody would pick on her though, and we'd play this little side game where we'd see how long we could keep the cards going around before she would notice that all the spoons were
They've probably
gone.
done that. They've probably done that, and worse. I just don't notice.
Yeah.
If
My
she's that
sister
good,
would throw the cards all over the game.
if she's that good at card counting, has she ever gone to like poker or anything?
Mm-mm. No, she's like, I'm too Christian for that. She doesn't say that, but you can see
Yeah.
it. I love her, by the way. We put her down completely. Just getting back at her for doing it all the time. Like, dude.
We just went to Vegas last month. A friend of mine had a birthday. He's always wanted to go to Vegas, and his birthday is like the 5th of January. So it's dirt cheap to go. So we go there. We're all meeting around. We had run into each other at the casinos, kind of meet up, hang out a bit, and then split. Well, I ran across him. He's at the roulette table, losing, terribly. I go up, and as a joke, I just put a $50 chip down. I win. Makes him upset. I went, "Man, that's a fluke. Watch." Put it back down. Win again. He's more angry. I'm like, no, see, I'm gonna lose. We have a dishwasher now because I just never lost. Well, you have it bad. So we're getting 3 or 4. It was so late. Because the rule was you're going to keep playing until either you had X amount or you lost all the money. This game, we went to a little table. Black 13. Yeah, you 35 times.
Set it all on there. The lady, she's like, "Are you sure you want to do that, honey? You can split that out." It's like, "All right, fine." And so I took half of it, put it on a different number, and she spun it, and it landed on black 13.
So I won the dishwasher. She won the pods that go in the dishwasher. Let's see here. Rachel. What you think?
Alright.
You can just project, yeah.
Okay. Taller.
Alright, y'all, so I wasn't gonna read anything until like 20 minutes before I came over here because I haven't written anything. I've started like 3 things since the last one, and it just wasn't working out yet. So I grabbed my notebook and I was thinking through some of my old National Poetry Writing Month stuff that I kind of liked, and so I was sitting back there. I picked out about 4 of them, and then Brenda inspired me to pick a 5th one to throw some humor right in the middle of it. So I too have some that like I just get stuck in a rut where it's late at night. I'm like, I still gotta write my poem for the day, and so I can only really write meter if it's humorous or self-deprecating, which is also humorous. So this one's humorous. That'll come kind of in the middle. None of these have titles. One of them inspired my spoken word from last summer, so you'll hear some of the same themes in there. I write about that theme quite a bit. So here's the first one. This one's actually, a couple of these are actually from the first spring when I moved, the first spring after I moved into my own apartment, moved out of my parents' house and into my own place. And so it's interesting looking back because this is probably my last spring in that apartment. So it's just interesting to see how things worked out. My windows are at street level, concrete level, feet level. The bird perched on the railing along the stairwell by my door sings jubilantly of spring. We will pass a season here, he and I, and watch the world walk by. Rain will pool in the rocks outside my kitchen window, saturating the earth. And in time, bulbs buried in autumn will burst forth and bloom. Okay. Next one's a little more personal, but I still like it a lot. Crosswalk and corner, the dance of morning traffic, sparse and for that reason personal. I don't have a usual, not yet. The cafe, sometimes full and others less so, seems an apt setting for me. But this empty seat, if I stand, it is not personal. I looked both ways before crossing the one-way street to get here, because years ago I worked 2 blocks over on the other one-way, and so I overlooked too many times to take anything for granted. It's still novel and beautiful, living only blocks from company and warm tea. Still fearful to try to believe in something called friendship, to wonder what is safe and what naive. After all, not everyone thinks like me. All right, here's my humorous one. Probably a late night. This stinking challenge, blast it all, just keeps me up too late. I'm out of good ideas, y'all, or even not so great. It's only even worth it because my pencil's on the page to practice and improve my skills through all of this. Garbage doesn't rhyme with page. Can we pretend it does? A mangled word is the worst way to rhyme that ever was. But it'll have to do this time because I do not care to do any more work. It's fine. Just throw it on out there. All right. This one's a little more recent, and this is the one that I drew ideas from for that spoken word. In a crowded store, no matter how small you make yourself, how fast you zip through the cracks, you're never out of the way. As you pause to collect your thoughts, if that were possible, and check your boxes, the voice inside whispers, I want to go home. You complete the list and play at a smile, yet nearly at the register you realize, or maybe acknowledge what you have known for some time. Home is not the box where you lay your head, where a pile of dishes awaits you, where you are finally making strides to add charm and beauty to walls and surfaces, where you fight battles and where you are renewed. The more you think about it, this home may be a place you've never been. And this last one is actually from about a year ago when I started thinking about possibly changing some things in my life, possibly moving, which is most likely going to happen before too long. So it's a bit of a ramble, but I like it. I took my headphones out to think, an opening. The person next to me began to speak, a closing. So we spoke idly of common ground, widely, not deeply, until the light came around and machines slowed down. Is this community? I started anew. He moved along, but drew the shades just as I was noticing the dawn. Golden light upon homes a few years old, bright and new, not here half as long as I. An inward sigh, I love this town. Do you? Late morning light came through another window on a date more than 5.5 years ago, one of only a few in that season. It stayed at the horizon in the rear view as it set, but clouds of envy tinged its hue and green. A silent shout, what right have you? What takes me 12 or 13 years, I thought, appears to take others 1 or 2. I never stopped to second guess its value until I surfaced from newfound ability to go with the flow, like the voice of some boy from years past echoes as telling me. And a more consequential voice asked, what have you got in your pocket? This I had asked myself ever since. It makes the lasting change of verse death in me wince. But though it never occurred to me to question the depth of my roots, it seems the soil has become more loose. Whether that means a thing for setting and scene, I know not yet. But the sun has dawned in a way I dare not forget.
So same question to you as her. Do you make yourself write every day, or is it just whenever inspiration?
I go through phases. Those are mostly from National Poetry Writing Month in April, where I do make myself write something every day. I miss a few. I definitely do lots of haikus.
I feel like I should be talking in rhymes. It's like in shows they have a musical episode and then it goes back to being in a normal show, but your ear gets into the rhythm of hearing rhymes all the time. I'm gonna do something that's never been done on the stage before. I'm gonna do a live review of the new peanut butter cookies. These are these a different recipe than the last time you did this?
Nope.
No? Okay. It's good.
Anything else?
They're fluffy, actually. How do you make cookies fluffy?
There's a lot of different ways.
How do you make them fluffy?
There's a lot of different ways.
Because every time I make cookies, they end up being real clumpy messes. I don't know if I'm not adding enough stuff or I'm not leaving them to cook long enough or what the thing is.
I'd have to see the recipe, but yeah, I mean, it depends. Sometimes you add things to make them fluffy. Sometimes you beat them up long enough and make them fluffy. Sometimes you gotta bake them less time.
I have a theory though that's not the recipe, it's Steph Lane.
It's you.
Yeah, because when you see the picture and it looks really nice.
Never trust food photography. Yeah.
I do like those behind the scenes things like the Big Mac commercial. And they like perfectly get things, they glue things into place, they paint the buns or the meat to look a certain color. I forgot this one, I forget which one it was. There's one of the fast food chains. And they're like, no, we're gonna just photograph the actual food. And they hired a whole firm to do it. It was a big ad campaign. And people didn't like it. They actually had a dip in sales after the real food was photographed. Because it's not good looking food.
So much for authenticity.
And there is a difference between like a fast food burger and going to like Cable's or I don't even know if Cable's does burgers. Okay. And getting it's less, I don't know, brown, less mushy looking. Looks like it has very structure. I don't know, I'm just rambling now. Next, Alicia? What or because tomorrow.
That's you, right? Yes, because of tomorrow. Yeah.
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Oh, you know, I have a show in Sterling today.
Yeah, the day after
And
that.
I have a show in Denver tomorrow.
On Valentine's, yep.
Yeah. Both of which, the panel consists of married comedy couples.
And
And me. I'm sort of wheeling the comedy
Yeah.
marriage. Quite cool. But yeah, Alicia.
Alright, perfect. So, I saw this book in the back and decided that this would be a good one to read out of, a couple of poems before Valentine's Day. So this is 1,000 Years of Love Poetry. I am not going to start with the very first one because it was, let's see, I'll tell you the year, 7th century BC, and it's a lot. So we're going to go ahead and skip forward just a little bit. Here we go. Where is it? Where is the one I marked? Here it is. All right. So this one is from 1780, and it's called New Love, New Life. Heart, my heart, oh why this feeling, this oppression deep and sore? Odd new life you are revealing. Strange, I know your ways no more. Gone is all that made you gladder, gone the grief that made you sadder. Gone your zeal and peaceful bliss. Ah, how could you come to this? Does her form so charming and youthful, like a newly opened flower, do her eyes so kindly truthful, fetter you with endless power? If at once no more I'd see her, if I brace myself and flee her, in a trice my feet will strain to return to her again. By this thread with magic laden, which I cannot tear at all, that beloved wanton maiden holds me, a reluctant thrall. In her magic circle standing, I must live at her commanding. Ah, how great the change in me! Love, oh, set me free.
Who's that by?
That is by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. There's a reason I didn't tell you the name. He was born in Frankfurt, so he's German.
I thought he was a philosopher or something, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I know the
he
name.
was a poet, a dramatic scientist, and a court official.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And this was addressed to his fiancee, and they broke up a few months after he wrote this. I don't know if it was because of the poem or it just so happened, but yes. All right. I feel like you guys are probably gonna know this one, so I'm not gonna tell you the name or the author. I'm gonna have you guess at the end. Those of you who are poets, I feel like you will know, and you may even know after the first line. So here we go. My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like the melody that sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till the seas gain dry. Till the seas gain dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands o' life shall run. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while. And I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 mile. Anybody? Yes, Brenda.
Is that William Shakespeare?
No.
That was my first thought because I don't know. Oscar
Bonnie.
Wilde? 'Cause that's the only
Not
one
an
I know.
Oscar Wilde.
The
No.
Bonnie Lass has to be
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Scottish.
It's not Oscar
Yeah.
Wilde.
I don't know.
Anybody?
When was it read?
That guy.
It doesn't have a year, but it was between 1759 and 1796.
Edgar Allan Poe.
No.
Probably 20th century.
All right, you want me to tell you?
Please tell us.
Okay, it was Robert Burns. My love is like a red, red rose. Mhm.
Is that a sonnet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I thought it was Shakespeare.
Yes, yeah. Kind of similar vibes. I can understand where you got that. Yeah,
That
absolutely.
word thing, I was like, yeah, that's Shakespeare, all right. That's all I knew.
Going too far. Ooh. All right. That's not the right spot. Sorry. I had it marked. Now I've lost it. Okay. So this one is by someone who worked with Gandhi. Rabindranath Tagore. We're gonna go with that. And it's called Unending Love. I seem to have loved you in numberless forms, numberless times, in life after life, in age after age, forever. My spellbound heart has made and remade the necklace of songs that take you as a gift, wear you round your neck in your many forms, in life after life, in age after age, forever. Whenever I hear old chronicles of love, its age-old pain, in ancient tales of being apart or together, as I stare on and on into the past, in the end you emerge, clad in the light of a pole star piercing the darkness of time. You become an image of what is remembered forever. You and I have floated here on the stream that brings from the font, at the heart of time, love for one another. We have played alongside millions of lovers, shared in the same shy sweetness of meeting, the same distrustful tears of farewell. Old love, but in shapes that renew and renew forever. Today it is heaped at your feet. It has found its end in you. The love of all man's days, both past and forever. Universal joy, universal sorrow, universal life. The memories of all loves merging with this one love of ours. And the songs of every poet, past and forever. And then I'm going to read the last one in the book. And this is by James Fenton. And he was a poet and a fellow of the Royal Society of Literature. And this one is called Nothing. I take a jewel from a junk shop tray and wish I had a love to buy it for. Nothing I choose will make you turn my way. Nothing I give will make you love me more. I know that I've embarrassed you too long, and I'm ashamed to linger at your door. Whatever I embark on will be wrong. Nothing I do will make you love me more. I cannot work, I cannot read or write. How can I frame a letter to implore? Eloquence is a lie, the truth is trite. Nothing I say will make you love me more. So I replace the jewel in the tray and laughingly pretend I'm far too poor. Nothing I give, nothing I do or say, nothing I am will make you love me more. The end.
What's the first guy's description? A dramatic scientist?
It said dramatic scientist. I don't know what that means.
He dabbled in theater.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, oh, gravity. I know what that means.
Read the book. It's available, $5.
Oh, no? Good. That's not coffee?
No,
When do you categorize things as coffee? So what's
it's more than 12 inches, I need to mention.
Really? Okay. What's fun about old poets? You look up, their lives or whatever. They weren't ever just writers. They always had like 7 other things they did. They were dramatic scientists or engineers or politicians or whatever. They were always doing other things. I feel like a lot of you get past, the Industrial Revolution. A lot of the poets were just they were poets. They were authors. They went around and showed up important. Question. By the way, the peanut butter cookies are really good.
Thank you.
Are they discounted for me?
No.
So I owe money on my
Yeah,
cookie?
yeah.
Cool. How many books do you think we're at now in the building?
Oh gosh.
25?
Probably more.
25,000?
More.
More?
I mean, the basement is full.
Oh,
We've run out of space.
And keep in mind, the basement is the entire
The entire length of
Is
the
it bigger?
wow.
Entire width.
We got a lot of books.
Just thinking, if we find kind of like Josie, what are you making out of that book?
Butterflies?
Butterflies. It could be fun if we find more beat up books to have people do origami based on whatever that book is.
Oh, fun.
Like
Do book origami. So the one that Josie is destroying currently was not allowed to be sold because its cover had been removed. And if they remove a cover, it usually means that it's either an error printing or was a return. So we were not allowed to sell it. So it is getting turned into beautiful butterflies to go in the window, so it doesn't go to waste.
Do you go to like estate sales and
No, we just get donations.
Okay.
Yeah.
at the very, very beginning, you did a little of that. Then
Yeah.
you realized,
I think I did like one pickup,
yeah.
and then we just keep getting donations. So
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
it's great. No, it is. It's really nice.
How often do you come across two people donate books and you're like, oh, I've been wanting to read this?
That's why I'm not allowed to go through the boxes anymore.
You guys should see the apartment. Easily 1,000 books?
Oh, probably more.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not allowed to go through the books anymore because like half of each box was going back to my house. I read everything, so I read the back of it. I'm like, ooh, that's interesting.
I always feel dumb to, like, the flight to Vegas. We both bought a book, and I got through, like, 50, 60 pages. She got through, like, 1,000 pages.
No, it wasn't that much. Maybe like 200.
It was nuts. I mean, like you say, reading's just
It's a skill.
it's a
What's your
muscle.
muscle?
You have to. What grade do you teach?
6 through 8.
6 through 8? Oh, okay, okay. I have a question, because I'm trying to find someone that teaches that age.
Okay.
Is it harder with like ChatGPT and stuff to figure out if essays are real or not?
See, my class doesn't matter as much because they're doing mostly hands-on and just documenting their work. And so, since I'm a STEM class, I try to talk about AI here and there and just. I think the other teachers have problems with it. I try to talk about the ethical use of AI. I don't tell them I used AI in college because it wasn't for writing my papers. It was, hey, ChatGPT, I don't understand this concept. Explain to me like I'm a 5th grader. I actually did tell my sixth graders that the other day, but not in those words. I very carefully edited myself. Yeah, I think I had an eighth grader once openly admit in my class that she wrote her poem for her language arts class using ChatGPT. But the interesting thing is I've heard that the AI checkers have a lot of false positives,
Oh,
and they'll throw false